spreads as anything would.
That's
The same way.
I want to come back to you.
The same way. Okay, let's let me throw this into an analogy.
Barrick, you don't have to sugarcoat something. If you want to say something, say it. All right. Let's hear what you got to say.
I just feel like they're like very strict and very harping on every single little thing, and people feel like they have no breathing room, whereas the other two shifts do.
I'll also rip the Band-Aid off here and just say that a lot of people have concern about the management side of things in one.
And people can actually make a joke. Something as simple as make a joke about something and not be castrated and crucified on the fucking stake for actually just, you know, trying to partially enjoy their time on duty.
Okay.
And arguments can be made, you know, that's not what we're here to do in this, that, and the other. But ultimately, you know, if you don't enjoy a job, you're gonna find a new job.
Let's address these one at a time then. In terms of burning at stake, what do you mean by that? You mean by the announcement when Chicey was removed, or when? What are you talking about?
I mean, like.
Oh, go ahead. I could probably answer this for you.
Forte situation is a perfect example.
Oh, go ahead.
In my opinion, like it is something that is the Viv situation is a big deal, at least in my opinion. The vomit situation is not really a big deal. That's turning into a big deal.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. The Viv situation is a big deal.
Yeah.
The vomit is not.
I believe that the vomit situation is a mild deal to a certain extent.
I agree.
And that is just being taken and run with when there are much more important things happening, much more.
Barrick and Flopper on such a similar
like
page.
Instead of people sitting in a room talking about, hey, this guy like did not want to clean up vomit, could be out there doing something actually productive. In my opinion, it's just not. It's no bueno. If we want to talk about something as small as that, I'm sure somebody out there is actually making a real mistake than that.
So what part of that situation is burning at stake? I guess, what do you mean by burning at stake? I had a different.
It goes to like the micromanaging and under the microscope thing. It's like, I'm not saying there was any foul play or anything like that, but it can easily be perceived as, you know, these people that initially got their first few DAP points or whatever, like it started accumulating like rather quickly over time. So like once you make that first mistake, you're essentially being watched like at all times. And if a majority of people out there, if you watch everything that they do at all times, and if you are trying to find a reason to get them in trouble, you probably could. You probably could.
You don't think I watch people?
Oh, without question. I just don't think you have like harmful intent.
So you're saying someone has harmful intent then?
Potentially.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have the proper information from both sides to actually make a proper judgment on it.
Okay.
But the fact that people feel this way and don't want to be around during that time is self-explanatory to me.
Okay. Who has harmful intent?
I personally do not feel this way. I've had no interactions, my personal self, to feel this way or to have this mindset. But based on like just the feedback I have gathered from other people, not them specifically coming to me saying
Chat's gonna get their way.
But just like in passing comments and stuff like that.
Oh, build up.
I do believe that the command structure within Ship 1 has bad intentions. Just towards certain people.
Oh, he said it. Oh my God. Reddit, get the fucking gun. Oh my God. Holy shit. Burn it at the stake.
Once again, I want to reiterate that I personally
have
not witnessed this.
Calm the fuck down, chat. You're going to be okay.
I personally have not experienced this besides like I'm just gonna,
It's
and
role
Flop
play.
will agree with me on this because we spoke about this.
Mhm.
Like just the really shitty responses to some of the command reports that we put out recently. Like extremely
examples.
passive aggressive.
If you could, please.
The Forte
Dana
situation.
Black.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the Forte situation or the Blackwell situation. Like, pick your poison.
Which one's the Blackwell situation? What's the report number for that?
2359.
People blow this out of proportion so much. It's so funny to me how often you guys are like just so passionate
You're
that,
talking
oh my
about
God,
Ruth's response here?
one person's the problem.
You can honestly pick and choose.
You're talking about the yellow writing, though.
Where's the
responses.
Blackwell situation?
Oh,
I see it. I see it.
Yeah, it's 2359.
Wait, 59? Oh shit, hold up. Uh, 23.
'Cause I feel like it's probably a really serious situation that is not actually taken properly.
Give me a moment to brief over this, so I have an understanding. Okay.
Yep.
I guess while we have this moment to breathe, for anyone to assume that this is all on one person, first off, it's not true. Two, no one hates anyone OOC, but everyone seems to feel that the sword is to fall on one person. This person bad because I said so. Take a chill pill, have a glass of water, go see the burning thing in the sky, come inside, chill the fuck out. Cheever impersonated Juno and started the Sanguine War. What the fuck is... I have lost all credibility for chat. Ruth killed Bass. Cheever is such a good role player. It's funny because I have never like from a role play stance, Cheever has always been phenomenal. Between Flop and Ruth have never had bad blood. They've been the sweetest conversations.
Okay.
So whenever it talks bad about Ruth, Flop's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
They want to push extortion on her.
Ruth's an intern for the company. Oh my god. The layers are unfolding. Or does he fuck around? Flop fucks around, and he also is willing to die in the hill
I was
of
just kind of letting that sit by the wayside until
personality.
I could get at least. Well, I mean, Ruth closed it anyway, so kind of just whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it is extortion or not, but has it been dealt with? Has she been?
Oh, it was closed, so I just
happened.
It was closed by them, so I just washed my hands of it, I guess.
Are DAPs open to y'all or no? Is that a high command report? Let me see.
I imagine so.
In terms of like, I think we can only see command reports. So what we're looking at right now is, I think, as far as we can go.
Okay. Do we get rid of that? Because now we have an option. Give me one moment here.
Stockholm syndrome with the PD. Real life comes first. Oh fuck yeah, absolutely. I mean, same thing with Zeiss.
When did this take place?
I need
roughly.
When people need to take breaks, they got to take breaks.
17th, yeah.
We work through the problems, we figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have rougher edges when we don't have everything in order, but we figure it out.
Have you? Do you see Ruth often?
Kind of later shift 3, earlier shift 1. Yeah.
You do see her though.
Yeah, occasionally.
Okay.
Not every day.
Have you inquired at all as to what the outcome of the situation was?
No. If I'm being entirely honest, the responses to that made me not want to touch it any further, unfortunately. That is probably not the proper way to go about it, but the fact that all 3 of them reviewed it, submitted their sides to it, and then it was closed, really did not rub me the right way.
Yeah. I think there needs to be something here that says what the outcome was. If it's going to be a command report, there should be an outcome section. If you wrote this
I
report,
just think RP are real life problems.
Ears, that's one thing. It didn't fall on deaf ears. It's being it's looked at.
Ruth is Taylor Swift. Oh my god.
I don't want this to sound bad here, Barrick. What about these specific parts of these responses didn't like you? What tilted you on them? Can you read me the section how and explain to me how that affected you?
I mean, I wasn't like, essentially I wrote up this report to pass on the information to like the people of shift 1, and I was not like saying that I was going to push these charges without question. Like, I was pushing this out for further like examination, essentially, preferably by the captains. Well, first of all, the comments of like
I'm RPing that I'm going to bed right
I wasn't like I previously said, I wasn't going to push the charges without question, but essentially saying like, citizens do not decide whether we push charges or not. Like, I feel like that's obvious, but and then just saying that there was no extortion that took place or whatever. I don't know. Like, and then at most it being unprofessionalism, and not. I don't know if there was a like an actual like that's brought down for unprofessionalism or not, but I just don't believe that this whole thing should just be brushed aside.
Yeah, and I don't know what took place on it, which is why I think there should be a conclusion. Like, if you're going to close it, there should be a conclusion statement. Hey, it was taken care of, or hey, she was reprimanded for it. She was talked to. Something that shows what the closing was of it, right?
Yeah.
I think this sentence is maybe a little much.
What is this?
Yeah, and then like the first like 2 statements of Aldo's thing, like essentially to me is just rubbing off is like, do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? Like, if you're trying to push extortion on this, when given full context of the situation,
cares,
which
guys.
provided both of their statements, both Ziggy and Solomon.
You took the reports, you put them in there, and it was forwarded to them. I think that's you did the right thing.
I love that.
As somebody who has like a shift 1 lawyer coming to a shift 3 senior very intentionally instead of going to Sonya or Aldo, to me, that was concerning to begin with. Like, we're supposed to have a good reputation and a good understanding with the civilian population.
This shouldn't be pushed aside. I'm not saying it is. I don't know if it is or isn't, frankly. It shouldn't be pushed aside, though, either way. I think we should inquire about it. Something to keep in mind is I don't want you, at least when I write a response to something, I'm not writing it at someone. I'm not writing it at you just because you put the statement in there. I'm putting my opinion in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But based on what was read, I could see myself saying, well, citizens don't choose, to push charges or not. I think there was unprofessionalism. I think we should push adapt. We should do this. We should do that. I don't think it should be taken as it being written to you, if that makes sense. Because this is how we should be using reports, right? This is how we communicate with each other, with other command members, is we put our statement as to what we read, what we believe, and what we...
Turner's a really good captain. Zeiss is so good at playing Turner. It's actually unbelievable how good he is.
Well, citizens don't decide this, so I don't think we should go along it, right? I think it's hard to probably portray that in word, but I think we should be writing things like what we have on here to be able to explain our thought process on what we read.
Yeah, I agree, but just to like close it afterwards, I don't know. It just...
would it be better if there was like, hey, she was talked to and reprimanded for this? Some sort of closing, some sort of just statement that says this is why we're closing it, right?
Yeah.
I think closure is important, especially if we're on the premise of communication and making sure we're all on the same page. Otherwise, that's left to interpretation.
I will put up a high command report for the other captains to read. Let me note this down here. Stating that we need to make sure we add a closing. If we're closing a command report, high command report needs to have a, let's just say, closing statement as to what the outcome was. Doesn't need to be anything like super in depth. Just needs to be reprimanded, talked to, dealt daps, whatever the case may be. Everybody's involved or aware.
Yeah, I mean, like the potential extortion thing was they wanted to press charges on Officer Blackwell. Like, it wasn't like my personal opinion. It was that they specifically wanted to press the charge of extortion against her.
Okay.
I went from that.
I think that's definitely, we shouldn't push that to the side if somebody comes to us, but we should definitely get the facts, and then that should be pushed up to us if somebody's looking to push charges on an officer.
Yeah.
We don't just push charges, right? We put it to the docket if we end up doing that.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something that would need to make it up to high command.
Yeah, I mean that was my initial process. I was like, okay, I'm going to take all this down. I'm going to submit it for further thoughts and opinions before I put an actual like incident report together and then put it to the docket. If like people agreed with this, but then like next day I got on duty, looked at it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm just not. I guess so.
Yeah, we'll get that addressed. We'll have some sort of closure for each report at this point. For something like that. I mean, if there was something that said essentially she was talked to, she was talked to about the situation, and she's reprimanded, would that suffice for you? That be?
I'm not even saying that somebody should be reprimanded. Well, in this situation, yeah.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about big picture. Is that?
Yeah, there needs to be a conclusion for stuff like this.
Conclusion. That's
at the very least.
For it. Okay.
A closing statement, something like that from a captain or whoever it might be.
Okay.
Needs to be a closing statement.
Okay. I'll put that out there
before things are actually closed.
I'm sure they're all going to be fine with it, the other captains, but I'll put it up there, and we'll get that out there probably for all the seniors as well if they're good with it.
Sure thing. The Cornwood situation is not what this is about. This conversation is about shift 3.
Any cadets sticking out like a sore thumb, problem-wise?
Actually, yes.
Problem-wise, okay.
Just one. And I've spoken with Slacks about it. I've spoken with shift 2 FTOs who have come to me just the other day about it.
About PPOs,
yeah. Selena Frost.
Mm-hmm.
There's been differing opinions. Slack said he was going to speak to shift 2 FTOs. And the day after that conversation, which was, I think, Barrick, the one with Rhodes and Slacks, that was what, 2 days ago, 48 hours ago?
Probably 3. Yeah.
Okay. I've lost my days. But the day after that, I got pulled aside by one of the FTOs in Shift 2, asked about what's going on with Frost. We all heard differing sides. It first started with, my sleep schedule is messed up. I should be back to shift 3 in a week. Week went by. I didn't hear anything. Then apparently somebody had heard, oh, Frost needs to move to shift 2 because of some stuff happening in Vice City. And then there was sort of nothing to be heard. But the issue is the mentor system that we have in place. I had made the, I would say, respectful point that seeing as I do not see Frost in our shift, it would not make sense for me to go out of shift to monitor that cadet.
She's the one that's trying to transfer to shift 2, right?
So I'll,
Yes.
I'll further explain
Okay.
because she spoke to me personally about this.
Hmm.
But she has obligations that will change basically seasonally to an extent, my understanding.
I see. Okay.
What time that she can be around to police. Whereas when she began, that time was shift 3. But now it is altered to be, she's most available during shift 2. Now, when she can, she is also around during shift 3. But that might be like
In the future.
1-2 days max out of the week.
I see. Okay. Okay. Well, have you all been there for my Zoom calls for one of the academies? I don't think either of you have yet. I took care of them.
No, the timings wasn't right. Plus, you also
So-
mentioned not to worry about it for those days, so I just don't think we.
did.
Yeah.
No, I'm not holding it against you. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
fine.
that's fine.
It's explained to everybody that they're being hired for the shift that they're being hired for. However, I would have really liked her to explain that this is going to be a issue in the future, not, or this is how it's going to happen. We could have worked around it, not,
Yeah.
assuming it. I'm assuming your problem is that she's leaving shift 3 and we put all the work into her, right?
To some
That
degree,
is,
yes.
yeah.
That's
People have issues with that. My general thought process is I feel the same way as you do, because I was a large part of the hiring process during this time, like years ago. And if people aren't around in the shift that they're specified for, then they should just be gone. But however, I do have a very empathetic side of me to which realizes that this person, I believe, is a good fit within the department, no matter what shift she's around during. And I feel like it would be just essentially cutting somebody that is a good one when it's unnecessary.
Okay. What?
There's more to it, Robert.
So what do you recommend? What do you both recommend for this?
I think the point that I made was good the other day, and I'll just kind of reiterate it. Long and short, I think just making sure now, Zoom call, fine. Making sure that that's sort of like in place. I think maybe for the foreseeable, in the interview as well, when they're here, just sit them down and make sure that they are fully aware. You are applying for your shift. Are you going to have any problems with that? And let them answer, right? I think as long as that is explicitly clear from all angles, I'm hoping it will reduce. The concern that we had and the concern that I personally had was I don't want this to be I don't want to say a precedent, but I don't want other people to see this as a way of, oh, shift 3 needs people. Let me get hired on for shift 3. Once I get PPL, let me go somewhere else, right? That's not what I want that to turn into. Not saying that that's what happened, but that's what I'm concerned.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do bring it up during the interview. I do bring it up during the Zoom call. And short of her exact case, they'd be removed. They want to get an option to swap shifts. So we don't want people getting hired in shift 3 and then swapping to another shift, hired in shift 1 and swapping to another shift. We don't want that. We're not interested in that. And we make that very clear when they get hired. I just think this is a little bit different than that in this case, at least.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't disagree. That's fair.
I think, I don't really think people should have the opportunity to change. And if a circumstance arises that they do need to, I think it should be subject to or that circumstance
Rennie.
should be subject to review by the three of you, and then given 3-0, 2-1 stamp of approval, whether or not it's approved or not.
It's definitely something we talk about, without a doubt. But we just don't want to get to that point in the first place. So we do give ample warning that you're getting hired for your shift. So
that's fair. I only bring it up because I know that shift 2 is looking for an answer. Essentially, Russ, apparently from what people from shift 2 have told me, she needs some notes and some help and some guidance. But even shift 2 is unaware. They don't want to step on toes with a shift 3 cadet. However, when we look through incident reports, I'd say roughly about 90% of them are shift 2. So
they're saying that she needs help. She's having issues.
Well, they don't want to step on shift 3
There's
toes.
little things that need correction, and they don't want to step over toes, but they don't really know that they're not stepping over anybody's toes whatsoever, because nobody has that communication with her, because it's not feasible.
That's so interesting. So
what essentially?
So they don't want to correct her. An FTO doesn't want to correct a PPO.
Well, they do, but they don't want to step over toes of other FTOs.
So if you saw a problem on a shift 1 cadet or a shift 1 PPO, would you take it to shift 1, or would you address it right there and then?
I would address it.
I personally would address it. However, we get back to another subject now where some people have tried to do that and have gotten backlash for it.
Ooh, and what?
I believe this isn't even like an FTO. It was Lucas who gave some very constructive feedback in like a kind-hearted way to somebody in shift 2, I believe, and was met with like, let the teachers teach, essentially.
Okay, who did he give feedback to, and who
was a cadet.
Who was
then
their
FTO spoke back to him that way. I'd have to get that specific information.
Okay, I'll go to him about it. Y'all have I just noticed on shift. Y'all have any ideas how you want to promote Watson? She is on shift right now.
Ooh, okay, that's actually huge. We haven't discussed it very intently. We were gonna have a proper discussion, but to be honest, since that conversation, Barrick and I haven't really had a chance to speak.
Let's do it. Let's have that conversation. Let's get it done.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we get to that, I want to just bring up real quick. This has been asked by me to Slacks and to just about everybody that I could think of. What is going on with dispatch for shift 3? Dispatch is lost. They don't have answers. And people that are coming in and applying also are looking for updates or answers. I know that Richard has been waiting patiently to have his interview with you. And he's asked for updates, and I haven't been able to provide anything. Was there, and not even for Richard's sake, for just dispatch's sake, do we have anything sort of set in stone yet for dispatch?
We need to hire a couple people. I need to get with the other captains and figure out exact details around that, and I will try to get that going ASAP. I'll write that down here.
Okay.
On notes.
So just as a formal conclusion to the Selena thing,
right? Yep.
Are we looking to let her transfer if that is her desire?
Are you too good with it?
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, yeah.
Let's let her transfer then.
Yeah, there's no sense in anchoring her down. Okay.
I can
Let's
talk
give
with...
the thumbs up to Slacks.
Should I... Okay. I'll wait for the thumbs up from Slacks. And
I'll give him the thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
So he's good to... We talked briefly about it.
Okay.
And we'll let him know it's a go.
Would you like me to inform Shift 2 PPOs that this was agreed upon, and so just let them know that she is officially to be transferred to 2?
Let's
I just want Shift 2 PPOs or Shift 2 FTOs to be aware of what's going on.
Let me see here. Yeah, let them know.
Okay. I can write something up for that briefly. I could do that when we wrap up.
Okay. Is Lucas still on duty?
Lucas,
No.
what? No.
No. Okay.
I can call Alice down if we want to do it here, unless we want to go somewhere. I mean, that's.
No, I was gonna check with Lucas about the situation, or see if I could talk to him about the situation a bit.
Oh, okay.
You two
Okay.
can figure out however you want to do the promotion. I'll leave it up to you two, and I'll just observe. I'll be there.
Okay. Perfect.
I'll give him my blessing.
Fantastic. Bear, did you have anything in mind? If not, we could do something.
Senior Plus meeting. I spoke to Slacks about the idea of having like a essentially bi-weekly standardized time for a Senior Plus meeting, being, all seniors and captains to attend this meeting at a specific time.
Monthly, weekly,
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
I submitted the idea of bi-weekly or monthly, and Slacks was down with the idea of bi-weekly. So,
I like the idea. I know it's gonna be very hard though. For for two shifts at least, it's gonna be very hard. We have. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I want that meeting as well. I want that meeting as well. What do you think about doing it after our monthly meeting that we're supposed to have after every Sunday? That didn't happen this month.
I would not be opposed to that. Actually, that would not be a bad. Now I'm going to clarify this. Forgive me. Is that something that would be a continuation of that Zoom call, or is that a let's all meet up at meeting room?
We'd rather be here on duty, right?
Hmm.
Or do you want a continuation of the Zoom call?
It would be more ideal to do it.
The continuation of the Zoom call is the easier, feasible solution.
So what do you think about meeting an hour earlier or something along those lines? Or because after, I'm not sure how long those meetings go. They go long sometimes. Meet an hour before. Once a month, people can kind of bite the bullet, get up early, wake up late, whatever the case may be. And
yeah, which is why, not to surrender us to being the ones to bite the bullet, but I always kind of viewed it as that's going to be the likely scenario that has to happen.
And that's some bullshit, Eric, right?
I preach that. That's yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also just somebody that just always throughout my life has been willing to make the sacrifices for other people.
Need to be willing to make sacrifices to you. So maybe rotating time. 1 month they take the bullet, 1 month we take the bullet.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, these meetings you said are always on Sunday, right? Because the first one was
last Sunday of every month. We want to do them. Yep.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't matter what date it lands on. It's always the last Sunday. So if anybody looks at a calendar, for most it's the last Sunday. Might be the first Monday for some.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
It's been a good conversation.
Figurable. You think 2 months or 1 month apart is too much, or I'm hoping here soon we're gonna have a new email chain. It's not the greatest thing, but an email chain for command.
I mean,
there needs to be open communication.
In my personal opinion, I think it's a very easy fix. Like,
what's that?
In the academy thing, you can every person that's gonna be a senior, at least at this time, is an FTO. So you can very much literally just create a channel in there that's just for the seniors and the captains.
Well, we want to have an official one as well.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice, but
our hope is for that to go away soon enough. That email chain.
This one's for mainly about Shift 3 dudes. Hopefully. This one's not really a Cornwood discussion, but
either way, you're
this
saying
is still a good
UPD
discussion. There's a lot
in it.
Yeah.
Senior pluses.
This is good.
Or just a simple channel in the academy email chain.
Okay.
For a temporary bandage to until a primary solution arises.
Actually, speaking of the temporary band-aid, Did Slacks reach out to you at all about Barrick's suggestion in light of if you did have to take an LOA? That was for you, Cap. I'm sorry.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
It was essentially a fail-safe solution because we didn't know, if things that, in terms of your ability to be around to improve or get worse, and in the event that it got worse, which God forbid, hopefully it does not, but essentially during that time frame, both myself, Flop, and Alice, for distinctively and specifically, like just like the FTOing side of things, of like approving promotions to full officers, then the three of us would come to conclusions and decide on getting people promoted. It was specifically just for that small thing.
That's not the way that it was explained, Barry. Fine though.
Just to cover up that. Like
I'm not sure if my brain's being overloaded right now. You said something about LOAs and then promotions now?
So essentially, like in the event that you would have to take an extended LOA and not be able to like be here and conversate with us about specific things and stuff like that, when it comes to the promotions of PPOs to full officers, that the three of us, being myself, Flop, and Alice, could be that equivocal like captain vote to have somebody promoted to full officer.
I see. So you amongst the three seniors, you would want to be able to make the decision
to promote somebody to full officer from PPO. Yeah. That specifically.
Currently, right now, no. And there's reasons for that I won't go into at this very moment. However, in the future, that will most likely be the case.
Yeah, it was just an idea that I put forward because there was a lot of just, back and forth, just squabbling, I guess, if you will.
I'm going to be more active, so it shouldn't be too much of a deal here soon. And like I said, in the future, we're going to go that direction.
Yeah, that's good. It was just a solution brought forward because we didn't know if just how things were going to go, obviously. But obviously, since you're, I mean, like obviously the next day I got your email about being around more, so
yeah, I'm going to be on a bit of light duty over the next for a bit of time. I'll just say that for the time being, while I sort things out. So I'm going to be here at the station doing paperwork, making sure things are flowing here properly. I need you to, and once Watson is here as well, out there on the streets and basically running it. Right. If something needs to be talked about here, I'll try to take care of it. I'm going to try to take care of station things. Anything that needs to come to command, high command here at the station. Command, if they go to you guys, great. Use the chain of command. If it's something here, I'm going to try to step in. I'm going to try to fill as many roles as I can without having to leave the station for the time being. But I'm going to be around. Okay, so
Victim, that's not for any of us to know.
We're gonna correct some of the things and get shift 3 flourishing. All right.
I look forward to it. I'm glad that we had this discussion. I'm sorry if it seems like a lot. It wasn't intended to. I think that this is healthy and this is good. And I think a lot of the information that we've discussed is stuff that has come up, and I'm glad that it's at least being somewhat addressed, which is good.
All right, good. Yeah, this was a good talk, and some things will change, some things won't, and we'll address things as they come and do our best, right?
Absolutely.
There was somebody brought it was a command report. Let me see.
Situation was known. Not really. We just know he had to take some time away. He had some much more important things, but
2446.
I do think out of respect,
comment made about midway through where DeRollo asked Rip Riley.
2446. Sorry.
Yeah, 2446.
Okay.
Orderello asked Rip Riley if he noticed anything about full officers belittling PPOs and stated that most of the officers have been respectful to him in Shift 1, but has had issues with Shift 3 full officers. He feels that some of the old department officers aren't satisfied with the department and are looking back with rose-tinted glasses.
Are you talking about this one right here? This whole sentence?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second. Can I call you back? Myself, Flop, and Turner are conversating. I'm not sure the three in the hallway are doing. Yeah. Yep.
You want to just bring her in here and start talking about all this with her?
That's probably good.
I'll just give her the senior tag and she could look at command reports. Just let her figure it out, or you all want to do something interesting?
Honestly,
I have no idea as to anything interesting to do personally. But
I did think about something while we were talking here. We could go back to the rooftop that we talked with. It was you, me, Allison Forte.
Oh, yeah.
And tell her that we brought her up here because at one point she fell off so she could be built back up.
Yeah, that's true. We could do that.
Is that too mean?
I don't get it.
So I am a big fan of when I do have to have meetings or talks with people, not doing them within the confines of Mission Row, and going to other places, which in this situation days ago, we went to the top of the Templar Hotel on the corner of Strawberry and Adam's Apple, and which on the way down following the conversation, Alice fell. So, and yeah.
Long and short, on the way down, Alice missed her step and she fell. And she was saying,
couple flights, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of flights, and she was on the ground and she was upset because she's like, I fell off. I figured it'd be kind of funny to bring her back up there.
Yeah, it is good to have her in here so that she can.
Yeah, definitely.
As well.
You want me to grab her?
Sure.
Okay.
However you want to do it. You'll choose it. It's up to you. I'll be there with you.
Okay. I mean, Bear, that's up to you.
We're going to Templar Hotel.
All right. I mean, hey.
I mean, are we doing it? We're going there?
I was gonna grab Alice.
Rooftop.
Do we want to do it now?
No. Yes. No.
Okay.
No.
Let's do it. Let's.
We're going to the Templar Hotel.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
No.
Hey, Flop,
Yes.
Barrick, and Turner.
We fucked up.
Kind of. So, go ahead and open up the report from the shooting that we just did. Not the shooting, but the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out afterwards. I was like, this casing is like so weird. Like, what are we supposed to do with it? Go ahead and click on the casing, and then go to the evidence tab, and then search. And when I searched it, I was like, oh, look at that. It's from the scene. I didn't know it overwrote the old one, but if you click on it, used in reports, it actually did go back to something.
Interesting. Okay.
So
the gun was hot, and we just didn't know it.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad. But I think maybe we should probably document that this is how you do it, because you wouldn't know it unless you were told, even though it kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm having my Denzel anxiety points moment, and
What the hell's that?
It's funny. It's something he said. Which I'm at 4 right now, and some silly little mistakes like this could put me over, and I don't want that to happen. I'd rather
oh my god!
talk about it while it's still fresh in our mind that we're all down there, and not hear about it a week later when someone found it later.
Not the place for that.
We're losing cops left and right, and I don't want to join them because it's a silly mistake.
So what you're saying is you did half the job.
or I'll tell you what I did. I searched up the casing and I saw that there were 2 entries, the casing and the projectile. I was like, okay, that must mean this is the first time this was entered. Didn't realize that it doesn't add another entry, it updates the old entry, and I did not know that.
So what are you saying? So hold on. Let me take a look. So I'm looking at the casing right now. And when you added, okay, hold on.
I see it. So go to evidence, search that casing,
Yeah,
open
2
up
entries.
either one of those 2 reports, and you'll see and user reports. It's showing other reports on there. I am gonna say live and learn. I think you should write something up on this. Do a little report. I'll push it up to high command. We'll take a look at it, and I don't think it'll be a problem because I looked it up as well.
I do have context on this. I just spoke
Wait,
to
so you
Rhodes
did the same?
about.
You did the same thing I just did?
I did. I ran the casing myself as well. Looked at it. Saw
I
the
shut
2
up 2
reports.
times.
Yeah.
Rhodes said that there's no legislation that allows us to charge for the gun. Apparently,
Legislation.
Yeah, that's what Rhodes said. I guess apparently that there isn't anything that says that we can charge for evidence of the crime from prior or something. I would speak to Rhodes about it. He has more context, but he said that there isn't anything that allows us to charge for the gun. And I guess apparently in the past there used to be something that said that allowed for us to charge for hot guns. I'd speak to Rhodes about it. He has more knowledge.
This is
So-
probably going to be more of a discussion then.
So what are you saying? Okay, I guess we'll check.
You have to speak with Rhodes. Again,
Okay.
I'm just the messenger. He said that he would advocate with the knowledge he has of that the fact that whether we can or cannot charge for a hot gun.
Pretty much hot guns don't exist right now. Is the gist of it?
No, I think
Oh.
there's no precedent set. Is
Okay,
what
right.
he's saying. So there's no precedent set right now. So you press it, they can test it,
Set the precedent.
and precedent gets set. If it goes to, it
Right.
could potentially be set. Thing is, he has a gun, right? He was in possession of a gun that was used in a crime, right? We don't know if he had the gun during that time. However, the burden of proof now falls on him to prove he did
Yep.
not have that weapon. So
I'm having
I
deja
don't think there's a precedent.
vu.
I think we need to push something like that to get that set. However, being that he's already been arrested and he was found in possession, I don't know if we can or can't push charges at this point. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't
The
think we
current state.
can.
Well, I don't think we can either. Why can't we?
Because the reason we didn't push it is because we didn't properly.
Well, now we can't,
look it up.
obviously.
So
because he
what
was
you're
already-
saying, is that evidence came to light. Now, if we didn't search it properly, does that matter? Does that weigh in on this? I'm not sure. I can't tell you yes or no on it.
So
what I'm
there's
saying.
actually I'm looking for the legislation. There's a bill
Is
of
there
human
legislation on it?
privileges. Yes, a citizen once adjudicated at trial resulting in a conclusive verdict, whether that of guilt or innocence, may not be placed under the
Hang on.
threat of imprisonment.
Which one is this?
Or the-
I'm better at reading it.
Bill of Human Privileges,
There it is, okay.
Article
What
6.
number?
6.
Okay, but it states at trial. Is this considered at trial?
No. I get the spirit of number 6 is that it's the
Right.
double jeopardy.
Well, that's not double jeopardy though. Double jeopardy is not what we're doing here. Double
It's not the
jeopardy is
same,
charging
it's
him
not-
for possession as well as somebody else for possession, right? That's not what double jeopardy is. This might be what it's intended to cover, and we probably want to get some more clarification on a situation like this. We got any judges around we can ask?
Probably not.
Probably pull one in.
There's Anastasia Gatsby.
There is a
right
judge. What
now?
the hell?
Wow. Okay.
Or-
All right. Let's
Why
do it.
don't you contact them? Fraught?
I'm going down the street.
Frost, go for
Yep.
it.
I'll go
Yeah.
contact them.
I was gonna say Frost
Goodbye.
because his case.
Wait, Alice.
Why don't? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
We gotta have a conversation with Turner.
Okay.
Any possibility you will be available?
Yeah, I was going
Okay.
on the streets because Rhodes has been alone, and he called and he asked what the fuck people were doing.
Aw.
I
Okay.
feel bad, so I was waddling out. Then I also talked to him about the gun thing, and then that's when he told me that information. So I waddled back.
Okay.
Either will work.
Yeah, let's here. We'll go over here.
Most likely, what we can do for the future.
She's saying most likely.
90%, 10%. All right, get it written up.
Yeah, I can do that.
Listen, I do the same thing. Okay, so I don't think you should be held. You're not gonna be daft for it. Just write it up.
Okay.
All right.
Thank God. All right. Yep. You want me a separate report, like and something you'll be bumping
Just
up.
make it a report, and I'll bump it up.
Okay. Okay.
Let me know when it's done.
For sake of Rhodes, we'll do the meeting here because apparently he's the only one currently out there at the moment. We have a lot of cops stacked up here, so.
Well, none of that's gonna change. But that's fine. Let's do it.
Okay. We'll talk in here.
Wait.
Or
You want to talk here? Where do you want to do this?
I wanted to do it up at the
Wherever you want to go. Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
we're going.
We're
getting
going,
my
we're
car
going.
Downstairs and we're going.
Watson, how you doing?
Good. Glad to see you back, sir.
What'd you do to your back?
I
Well,
slipped
tell him
off-
what you told us.
I got my back blown out.
Congratulations.
It was an accident. I slipped and there was a fall, and but I'm better now. I don't have to use the cane anymore, which is good. This is why I'm here. I should be back to normal, soon. Fine.
Good.
Fine.
Good to hear.
Captain Turner, just a heads up. I just received a text, unironically, from Richard about his interview.
There you go, sir.
Oh, thank you. Not right now, though.
Okay.
Like I said, I need to talk to the other captains here.
Okay.
Oh,
What do we? The hell's this?
where I got my back blown out, sir.
Okay, not. Well, I mean,
Not
yeah, it's like
untrue,
right where
but
you're standing right now. But anyway, it's not the point. It's not. We don't need to clarify stuff like that. It's
I have PTSD from here.
it's okay. We need to.
We face
you
our
gotta conquer
fears.
your fears, Alice. You gotta conquer your fears. Yeah, just up here. Just up here. It's not too far.
He's scared. I don't want to fall again. Please, did you
Did
make the house more wheelchair accessible yet? I haven't been there since this
No,
morning.
I haven't had time. I've been working. The house will be more wheelchair accessible soon, though.
Jesus. How'd you fall off this roof again, Watson?
Well, I was waddling down, and Barrick said he would go first, but he didn't, so I was complaining about it. And then I slipped over the edge a little bit, like, got too excited, and I just flew right over, the banisters. Just be careful, okay? Just be careful, sir.
of the walk or of Barrick? That was slightly. You said just be careful after saying that this was somewhat Barrick's fault. What do you mean?
I said I slipped over the banister, and I said just be careful.
What a place to
like
choose
if-
a meeting, huh?
I feel like if Barrick showed me.
No,
Wait a second.
Why would anyone choose a meeting up here?
The view's very pretty. I will give it
It was
that.
so beautiful, low key. Like, and it was daytime, so I'm kind of pumped to see it at night. Like, if you look out, like east.
What keys?
What?
You said something about keys somewhere?
Keys? The view?
You lost your keys? What was that?
I didn't say anything about my keys. The view out east.
Right, but what about you lost your keys?
I didn't say anything about my keys.
Y'all hear anything about keys?
I don't think so, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
You know, I was quite a distance away. I didn't hear it.
Wait, what?
I didn't hear anything about keys, but you were also behind me, so I'm not sure.
All right.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
Look at you, Alice, conquering your fears. You got back up here.
Yeah, I'm pretty fearless. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared to be standing here.
Well, you're not in trouble. We were actually all
Oh.
just having a discussion, and we were going through some stuff. How do you feel like things have been so far? Because I haven't caught up with you in a few days. We've been very busy, so.
Well, I have also, due to my back injury, I took a few days off because I was hobbling around the house with the cane, and I didn't feel like it was probably best for me to be around too much. So I've actually taken a few days. So I haven't been here since.
The incident.
Yeah, we'll call it that. The incident. I did read up on. I missed Forte's 30 day, which it's been a few days, only like 2 or 3, but I did read there are some things that I need to have a discussion with him about. But other than that, everything looks promising. I read a bunch of nice new things, new vehicles since I've been gone, like good PMA things, right? Like things that will hopefully boost morale, so people like shiny new things, and hopefully that makes people happy.
Excuse me, just one moment here.
You're good. If only the silent button worked on my damn phone.
Stand over this way.
People have allergies, man.
No, I think he's sick.
I can speak.
He's sick. I think he's sick.
All right.
With elevation, pressure rises, and usually it causes issues with nasal anyway.
Oh, there you go. How about that?
Yeah.
Overall,
That's a nasal
Alice,
problem, sir.
Oops, sorry.
I can relate. I can relate. Nasal problems all the time.
Smell
Many
tobacco.
allergies. Terrible.
Tobacco.
Tobacco does that to me.
He said he smells tobacco.
Oh, is that
Poison
why
for
you
the
don't like
body.
cigarettes?
Part of it's poison for the body, of course.
Oh.
Wouldn't you agree, Watson?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any food? By any
Nope.
chance?
I am
Energy
have-
bars?
I
Oh,
have an
Oh, I
energy ball. It
cannot
has
eat
nuts in
those.
it, though.
You
Yeah.
can't eat energy bars?
No.
I would
No,
not say
at
no
least
to an
not
energy
the ones
bar.
we have at the station. No, I can't.
No.
They have nuts in them.
Then no.
Yeah.
Alice.
Flop.
This was supposed to be more of a, we would call you and have you come up here so we could have a conversation. And instead we saw you. So we brought you up here to, I guess, talk about the efforts you've
Can
brought.
I be frank?
Yes, go ahead.
There's a problem.
Okay.
There's a problem with you.
Okay.
And it's not that you're falling off ladders. It's not that you're falling from multi-story buildings.
You fell off, Alice.
Clumsy or something like that. There's a problem. All right.
Okay,
Big
I'll
problem.
get better. I can fix it.
Big problem is we need to have conversations.
You like conversations?
Yeah, I think
You like meetings
communication
on
is
rooftops in small cramped rooms?
communication is very important. It's the
Somebody say the
Best
backbone of the
way-
PD?
yeah, it's the best way to make sure things are going well is by communicating. So
Communication's the backbone of everything in life, relationships, businesses, everything along those lines. Well, businesses are probably built on like strong workforces and like underutilized labor or underpaid labor. That's more accurate. But that's not the point.